I didn't know who he was either until just a couple weeks ago. My team actually told me I have to follow this guy because he just looks like he's a fucking maniac, right? And we like maniacs. He's eating liver, raw liver. He's eating cow balls, and he's doing all this crazy shit. And he's claiming that it's all natural. He's claiming that everything that he does is natural, so he's buff in a natural way. But the reality is that he was taking steroids. So how many times have we lied? How many times have you lied? So before you judge another man, we have to acknowledge ourselves that all men, at one point of our lives, we lie. But what we could do is we could learn when somebody lies to everyone so much that he actually becomes to believe his own lie. So that's the reason I wanted to create a reaction video to this video, because we could learn something from it. We could actually learn some patterns. We could recognize why some men do the things that they do. And we could actually see ourselves in the scenario so we could learn from those mistakes and become better. So let's begin. Welcome to the King's Code Podcast.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck.
All right. First of all, if you thought this guy was not on steroids, man, you probably still believe in Santa Claus still, all right? Because anybody in their right mind looks at this guy and looks at, man, there's no way that he's going to be this big in the regular way. I mean, he has to be under something, all right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, you know, when you do something wrong, the first thing is, take ownership. You know, he owns it. He fucked up. He lied. Obviously, been doing a little more research, you know, before this video, and he actually doubled down when people were asking him, do you use steroids? And he said, no, I never use that stuff. I never used any steroids, and I would never touch that stuff. Well, that's the reason that he's where he is right now, because now he has to take ownership, because he lied not just one time, but multiple times. He just doubled down on his lie. But the first step when you lie, when you fuck up, is take ownership.
This fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous. And I never...
All right, so let's talk about that. When the problem that I have with a lot of these influencers is that they're constantly flexing how much money they have. They're constantly flexing how rich they are. And that's a big problem that we have right now in the market, because a lot of young kids, they're so impressionable because men have money. So if you have money, that means I'm going to follow you. And I'm thinking right now, even though he's apologizing, he's still framing his apology. Well, listen, I'm still rich. It's not affecting me. I was rich before. I'm rich now. So from like 29 seconds in, I mean, he got me on, like, I own my shit, but now he's positioning himself and telling people how rich he is in his apology. So just whenever we make an apology, it has to be sincere. Like, we can't say, you know, I fucked up, but you know what? I'm rich. So you know, I'm still rich now. So let's see if he gets better. Let's see if this gets better. Because so far, I don't know.
Never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye. It's been tricky as fuck to navigate. Well, clearly I did it wrong. And I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician. Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message.
Again, right? He's acknowledging that he's in steroids. He's acknowledging that he's taken steroids in the past, but he's under supervision. So does that make it right? Does that make it right? I don't know. I've never taken steroids. I don't know the consequences of being under supervision or not. But it seems, again, it's still positioning. Like, he's apologizing, but he's positioning and justifying why he did what he did.
To spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves, the 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life. Our young men are hurting the most feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets.
All right. So this is where, we have to start looking at, people who are in leadership positions where they continue to justify why they lie. And again, I thought it was an apology video, but it seems that he's most likely excusing himself why he lied. Oh, yes, there's people suffering. Yes, there's people, depressed online. But is that the reason that he was on steroids? I mean, I'm trying to understand, why are you lying about steroids? And are you telling me that you lie about steroids because people are dying, because they're depressed, and you want to motivate people? You want to motivate people to become better by lying. And those are the things that we have to learn. Sometimes what we do doesn't justify how we do it. That just because, okay, if you're poor and if you don't have any money and you're going to rob a bank, you're going to justify yourself robbing a bank because you're poor. Oh, I wanted to help my family. Yes, it's a good story, but there's still consequences, right? And again, if you're going to apologize, you're going to own your shit, you have to be real. I lied because, shit, I wanted to make money. I lied because I know that you wouldn't buy my shit unless I look this good. I lied because whatever reason it is, you have to be real with yourself. In order for us to be taken seriously in an apology, it has to be sincere. It has to be sincere in a way. So I'm learning from this, because I'm looking at this as like, shit, if I ever lie and something happens to me, I need to make sure I don't make the same mistakes as some other man, so I could be real with my apology, be real with the shit that I'm going through.
So our people no longer have to suffer, so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. This is why I exist. While spreading the message, I've been on several podcasts, and when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I've always said no. I don't touch the stuff, not gonna touch the stuff, never touch the stuff. That was a lie. I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with the ancestral message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind, so who the fuck am I cheating? I convinced myself that this topic was a placeholder for a far more important conversation.
Yeah, and that's the pattern that most of us go through when we fucking lie. That we buy into our own bullshit. We buy into our thoughts. We buy into the justification of why I'm lying. And that's one of the main reasons that most men don't own the shit, because they want to continue to live on the lie. And we want to stretch the lie as much as we can until we get caught. Until shit hits the fan, and now we have to create an apology video, apology email, apology text saying, fuck, we fucked up. Because at the end, we believe in our own lie. And the more you lie, the more you continue to justify the things that we do, it just becomes exhausting, because now you start to there's a gray line between who you are and what the lie is. So what I'm seeing here is that the guy is realizing, like, shit, now, I fucked up. I know that it was wrong, but then I was justifying it because I'm not an athlete. I'm justifying because, even though people ask me, did you take this? You said no. It was a plain lie. But in his mind, he was lying for a reason. And those are the things that we have to be careful on. When we are telling a lie, and what we know is a lie, but we're justifying it, thinking that it's a greater good. And that means that we believe in our own shit.
I convinced myself that this would overshadow the 36 years of working out, usually twice a day, without PEDs. I've convinced myself that this was the vocal minority, usually in the fitness category, driving to an unproductive conversation. And I had convinced myself that this would be the wrong message to send to the 15-year-old boys. So I continually dismissed it, and I dug myself into a bigger and deeper hole. I have only myself to blame. I did that, and it was all wrong. I will be better. I will talk about it openly, because I believe that there's a time and a place for pharmacological intervention monitored and managed by a trained hormone physician.
So when I'm hearing this, what I'm hearing is that there's another play for the apology as well, that there might be a pitch. And whenever you apologize, if you want to be sincere about your apology, you have to just apologize and that's it. Own your shit and move on. Don't try to justify it. Don't try to play around it. Don't try to say, well, maybe there's a way that we could actually, that's a spin. I mean, he's sounding more like a politician than an apology, but it sounds to me that there might be another product that he wants to sell later on, maybe some of his vitamins with some steroids. I mean, that's what it sounded like to me.
In 2021, when I was 43 years old, I didn't feel 100% physically or cognitively. So I went to get monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician to see what the fuck was going on with my life. And so yes, it's true. I have tried several peptide combinations in an effort to increase my growth hormone, and it didn't work, meaning that my levels still remained below the normal level. So yes, it's also true that I've tried pharmaceutical grade growth hormone, and I finally found success in managing therapeutic levels in the normal range.
Well, here's a point that I'll make on this. If you are feeling guilty about the shit that you're going through, of course your mindset is gonna be fucked up. You're doing something that is you're telling a lie, and therefore your mind is always gonna start eating you up. Like the lie and the shit that you do is eating you up from the inside out. So that's the reason that people are depressed, because they're not living their truth. That's the reason that most men are going through a dark tunnel. Why? Because they rather live on a lie than, to tell the truth and set themselves free. I know this because I was one of them. I know I was lying to myself, and I kept on buying into this fucking lie until I made a choice to be real with myself and to tell myself the truth. And not just myself, to tell the people around me the truth. Because the moment that you own the truth, then the lie doesn't have power over you anymore. Unfortunately, most men decide to sedate. Most men decide to trying to figure out what's wrong with them. All he had to do is realize that shit, this is not sustainable. Living on a lie is not sustainable. That's the reason that his mindset was all fucked up. His body was giving feedback. Motherfucker, stop lying. Tell the fucking truth. Because the truth will set you free. And the moment you tell your truth, suffer the consequences. Whether it's you losing money, you losing whatever it is that you're going to lose, but at least you're free. At least you're a free man. Now, let's see if we can wrap this up.
Yes, this is true. I've continued on with 0.6 cc's of testosterone per week, roughly 120 milligrams of testosterone a week. And no, I don't take any other steroids like nandrolone or winstrol, but I have tried them in the past without success. Yes, it's also true that my blood chemistry got all fucked up while taking nandrolone and winstrol. My lipids got all deranged. My liver enzymes went sky high, which is why clinical oversight is an absolute must. Nope, the Liver King brand has had nothing, or at least very little, to do with my business success. My companies were already kicking ass, already successful before the Liver King public figure, growing at 50% year over year and still growing at the same pace.
All right, when you lie to the public, you can't expect them to believe you right away. I mean, at the end of the day, like, even if it's true what he's saying, I have a hard time believing that it's true. So that's just the consequences of being caught in a lie. Like, people, you have to build the trust. People are not going to trust you. So whether he's saying the truth or not, at the end of the day, he's going to suffer the consequences. There'll be a massive consequence to his brand, but maybe it's going to be temporary. Maybe he'll bounce back. Maybe he'll come back even stronger. Maybe people realize that little steroids may not hurt somebody. I don't know. I don't take steroids. I've never taken steroids. Maybe after watching this guy, maybe I'll try his products one day. But again, when you start looking at, it's an apology video, apologize, just fucking make it short, sweet, you own it, that's it. The more precision, the more stories you tell the lie, the more we get to uncover. And most likely, he's lying in his apology.
After the Liver King public figure. Nope, I've never had ab implants, ab etching, or any other plastic surgery, and I sure as fuck never actually had gene editing done in Singapore. I made all of that up. It was all intended to be a joke, and that's an expression of ancestral 10 and 10. Have a little goddamn fun. Ultimately.
Well, now when people hear this, they're probably gonna say, okay, that if you lie about everything else, you're probably lying about that. So there's a consequence of being caught in a lie. Again, when you apologize, you own your shit and move on. Own it, take it, Take the fucking hit and move on. The more stories, the more you talk about it, the more it seems like everything that you're saying is a lie, dude. It just seems like I don't believe anything you say because you continue to tell me a story.
Ultimately, why did I or why do I do them? When I talk about the 85% of the population that suffers from self-esteem issues, that's me. I'm part of that statistic. This is why I fucking work myself to death in the gym. This is why I do 12 to 15 blood-burning workouts a week, just to feel like I'm okay. Still, I have to absolutely crush myself to do so, and I'm wrecked physically and cognitively, and hormone replacement has helped in a profound and significant way. And still, I believe that the path to paradise is paved in fucking hell.
You know, it's amazing to see men who are like strong men, right? I mean, this fucking guy is, you know, obviously strong, but mentally weak. Mentally weak because he still tries to portray and please everyone around him in order to feel enough. I mean, I've coached and I train guys who make billions of dollars. And the feeling of not being enough is in all of us. I mean, I think that's the foundation of being an achiever. An achiever has to feel like he's not enough in order for him to go out there and do more than everybody else. That is right. 85% of the people out there are not going to do the shit that he's going to do. But even that he's part of the 1% of men who look like that or men who worked out like crazy, he still feels like he's not enough. But see, that is a self-esteem issue that we all have to deal with. We all have to face the darkness. So the solution is not trying to do more or have more, is asking yourself, who am I? Who am I without the accolades? Who am I without, you know, the praise? Who am I without social media, without the money, without the success? And that's when you start discovering that at the end of the day, the more you try to please others, you stop pleasing yourself. You have to do the shit that makes you happy. Like when a man owns himself, he doesn't have to get the praise from everyone else. I actually feel bad. I feel bad for him because I know, I don't think he's lying at that point. I think that's probably, he's talking about the core issue of why he's doing what he's doing. The feeling that he's not enough. He's been addicted to that persona, addicted to success, addicted to have what people expect of him. So that's a pattern that we all could learn from. You know, when you lie about something, ask yourself, why am I lying? Am I lying because I want people to think I'm something more or to think that I'm better than what I truly am? And the necessity of men positioning or pretending is the foundation of not being enough.
I previously have said in a weird way, I'm grateful for the recent events that have shed light on this complicated as fuck topic. I knew I needed to take this opportunity to openly discuss everything for me to be a better human. If there are any questions that remain unanswered, send them my way. I fully own that I fucked up. I am as sorry as a man can be. And all I can do is take extreme ownership right now, be better, and lead myself to a better life as a better human. Again, thank you to everyone for the support, the criticism, the love, the hate, and above all else, the loyalty. Liver King.
All right, you know, it's from 1 to 10 an apology. I mean, it seems that he's sincere about the shit that he did, but I mean, he has no other choice, right? So where have you been in a situation like that? We probably would never be in a situation as where he is, but we all could learn from this. Could learn from the patterns. The pattern of not being enough is what gets us into trouble. But we have to own our shit. But at the same time, when we own our shit, let's stop trying to position ourselves and dig ourselves into a bigger hole. The moment that you want to deflect the lie is the moment that you actually create more lies around it. You know, part of growth is owning your lies. We all lie. There's not a man that has not lied. I don't know if, you know, at that level, I'm sure when you're at that level and you have to create a lie about your persona, it hurts even deeper. Why? Because it's not sustainable. Lying is not sustainable. The truth is always going to set you free. So I'm constantly working with people around me to be more honest, not just with each other, but with themselves. Because that's how we're going to be able to grow. At the end of the day, we all have experiences like the Liver King. None of us are perfect. We all lie at one point. The question is, what do we do when we get caught in the lie? What do? We cannot sustain the lie. We're going to be honest and tell the fucking truth. We're going to continue to create stories around it. So comment below and let me know if you get any value from this video. I learned a ton of shit from this experience. I wish him well. I wish that he continues to inspire people by telling the truth, by being honest and telling the truth. I truly believe in second chances. I believe that we all fuck up. We have to become better. We have to learn from other people's mistakes. At the same time, learn from our mistakes. But there's going to be consequences. People are not going to trust you. You're going to lose your reputation. And a man's reputation is just going to follow us into our grave. Learn it, live it, experience it, love life.
If you're ready to find the edge, go to kingscodebook.com to get the latest copy of my book, The King's Code. This book will help you find the clarity, the certainty, and the purpose that you need in order for you to lead with power. Go to kingscodebook.com and find your code to the edge now.